Hi Change Checkers, we're in London to take a tour around the places that inspired some of the most popular UK coin designs. Our coinage is more than just currency. It's also a canvas to tell stories of important historical figures, iconic landmarks and British culture, a lot of which has ties to the country's capital city of London. From everyday modes of transport such as the double-decker bus to the beloved literary character of Paddington Bear, I'll tell you everything you need to know on this coin tour of London. Westminster Abbey has been the location of many important royal events since 1066, with 40 coronations, 18 burials and 16 royal weddings taking place here. Most recently, the coronation of King Charles III took place here on the 6th of May 2023, following Queen Elizabeth II's record-breaking 70-year reign as monarch. To celebrate the occasion, the Royal Mint issued a UK 50p coin featuring a depiction of the Abbey and His Majesty's royal cipher. Now, two versions of this coin were issued, the first featuring a crowned portrait of King Charles III, which was issued for collectors only. Now, later, a version without the crowned obverse did enter circulation. Just a stone's throw away is Westminster Hall, where the late Queen Elizabeth II lay in state. More than 250,000 people visited to pay their respect, and queues stretched along the south bank of the Thames. Less than a month after the passing of the Queen, the Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II Memorial 50p was issued. It was the first UK coin to feature King Charles on the obverse, and the first King Charles III coin to enter circulation. The Palace of Westminster, commonly known as the Houses of Parliament, was once the primary residence of British monarchs of the late medieval period until 1512, when a fire destroyed the royal apartments. After this, medieval parliaments of England met at a variety of locations. However, the palace was frequently used and developed into the body's permanent home, and to this day is the hub of all political life in the UK. As part of the A to Z of Great Britain 10p series, the letter H represents the Houses of Parliament, with a design featuring the official logo of the Houses of Parliament, a portcullis thought to represent gates of the kingdom. Another UK coin with history here is the 2005 gunpowder plot £2, which was issued to mark the 400th anniversary of the conspiracy to blow up the Houses of Parliament. The reverse design features a montage of Bishop's Crozier swords and parliamentary mace, symbolising the survival of the British establishment, and an edge inscription reading "Remember, remember the 5th of November." Now, some collectors reported finding a spelling mistake on the edge inscription of their coins, reading "Pemember, Pemember" or "Remember." However, the Royal Mint confirmed that this was not a striking error. However, the R coincided with the milling around the edge of the coin, and wearing away over time, it looked like a P. The classic red double-decker bus has become synonymous with London, and with more than 7,500 modern double-decker buses operating in London alone, it's no wonder. The letter D from the A to Z 10p series pays tribute to the iconic mode of transport, with the design featuring a double-decker bus alongside the letter D. The National Gallery celebrated its 200th anniversary in 2024, and to mark the milestone, the National Gallery £2 was issued. The National Gallery is home to over 2,300 works of art, some dating back to the 13th century. And the best part, it's free to the public. Buckingham Palace has been home to British monarchs since 1837, when Queen Victoria took up residence here. And although His Majesty doesn't actually live here today, it still serves as his administrative headquarters. Michael Bond's beloved bear Paddington visited Buckingham Palace in 2018 on the Paddington at the Palace 50p, where he can be seen waving a Union flag. Now, this was the second 50p in a 4-coin series featuring Paddington at various locations in London. Buckingham Palace was also featured on a UK £5 coin earlier this year and was part of the 2024 annual coin set. The design featured a detailed depiction of the front of the palace with the royal standard flying. Did you know this indicates the presence of a monarch? Now, the royal standard isn't flying today, which means that His Majesty isn't currently inside. The palace has also been the setting of many Jubilee celebrations, most recently Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 2022, which was celebrated with a UK 50p. This was the first ever Royal 50p, and similarly to the Coronation 50p, it had two different obverses. A standard Queen Elizabeth II obverse for the circulation version, and the Queen on horseback obverse for the collector version. The J10p from the A to Z series also represented the Royal Jubilee celebrations over the years, featuring a depiction of the gold state coach, which was actually last used at the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla in 2023. The Sir Arthur Conan Doyle 50p was issued in 2019 to mark the 160th anniversary of the writer's birth. The design features titles of some of Doyle's most famous stories surrounding perhaps the best-known character, Sherlock Holmes. The Sherlock Holmes pub on Northumberland Street is loaded with references to the world-famous detective, and upstairs you'll even find a detailed recreation of Holmes' famous Baker Street flat with rare memorabilia. St Paul's Cathedral is one of the most famous and recognisable sights of London, and with its dome measuring 365 feet tall, is the second largest church building in the UK. Considering this, it's no wonder that Paddington visited this landmark in 2019 on the final coin in the Paddington 50p series. He can be seen wearing his famous duffel coat and tipping his hat in front of the cathedral on the coin's design. The original cathedral building was designed by Sir Christopher Wren, however it was largely destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666. 350 years later, in 2016, the Great Fire of London £2 was issued, paying tribute to the moment that sparked the emergence of modern London. St Paul's Cathedral was later reconstructed and became a symbol of hope to a war-torn nation after surviving the Blitz during World War II. It featured on the 2005 end of World War II £2 coin to mark the 60th anniversary of the day Winston Churchill announced victory in Europe. We're on Tower Bridge, and right over there is the Tower of London. Now, on Paddington's tour of the capital, he also visited the Tower of London, where he stopped for a lunch of marmalade sandwiches on this 2019 50p. The Tower of London is also home to the Yeoman Warder, ceremonial guards responsible for looking after any prisoners and for safeguarding the British crown jewels since Tudor times. The YA to Z 10p pays tribute to these guards with a design depicting a Yeoman Warder and a key hanging off the letter Y. HMS Belfast is permanently moored here in the Thames as a floating museum. The First World War Navy £2 features a dreadnought-type battleship, and due to its resemblance to the HMS Belfast, it's often referred to as the HMS Belfast £2 coin. And it's one of the most talked about £2 amongst collectors, not only because of its low mintage figure and its known minting error, but also because there's actually two versions of the coin issued. Just 650,000 First World War Navy £2 were officially released into circulation in late 2016, featuring the then new Jodie Clark portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. However, 100 lucky collectors had the chance to get their hands on one in February 2015 at the gift shop here on HMS Belfast. These early releases actually featured Ian Rank Broadley's obverse portrait, and so there are technically two different versions of this coin with different obverse portraits. And don't forget that well-known minting error caused by a cracked die, which makes it look as though a flag is flying atop the mast of the ship on the design. In 2013, two £2 coins were issued to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the London Underground, one featuring a train emerging from a tunnel, the other showing the iconic London Underground logo. The London Underground, or as it was originally named, the Metropolitan Railway, was the first underground railway in the world, with the very first stretch running between Paddington and Farringdon Street. Today, over 1 billion people use the 408 kilometres of London Underground each year. Paddington's namesake station was the first stop on his tour of London, when he featured on the 2018 Paddington at the Station 50p. Paddington can be seen sitting on top of his suitcase at the station, wearing the famous tag around his neck, reading "Please look after this bear." Did you know the roof here was designed by Isambard Brunel? In fact, it's one of his most famous works. The trademark arches feature on the Brunel £2, which was issued to commemorate 200 years since his birth. Of course, we've only covered just a few of the commemorative UK coins that have been issued in this video, but there are so many more out there to collect. Do you have a favourite UK coin? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. See you next time.